of football, but we begin with the game of the night. The Rockets, the 2 seed in the West, Monica, taking on LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. Pick it up second quarter. Just someone tell me how LeBron James does this. There's a one-legged three.
This one was wild. Okay, sure. Why not? You've earned that.
That's a trick. That wins a game in horse. Meanwhile, here's Doncic behind the back. Gabe Vincent had a nice night off the bench.
Monster in terms of being able to connect from the three-point line. 6 threes in this ball game. Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith in particular were huge in this ball game.
Here's Dorian Finney-Smith off the ankle-breaking move by Luka. Look at it again.
Nasty,
look at this.
Greeny. Ooh, that put some stank on it. Poor Alfie.
Finney-Smith had 6 threes off the bench. We're midway through the third. Lakers are down a deuce. Not anymore. LeBron with the bucket to tie it. 3 minutes left in the third. Lakers leading by 3. Finney-Smith, Vincent, he had 6 threes off the bench. Lakers a 5-point lead, and then in the fourth quarter, they got places to go for buckets. LeBron.
I mean, 20-plus years in the game, and just a size and versatility. What a great spin move. Easy. Just looks too easy for LeBron.
He had 16. Luka had 20. Lakers take a 5-point lead. A minute left. Rockets not giving up. They're down by 5. How about Amen Thompson?
Ah, man, the Thompson twins. This move was crazy. The sidestep to the left, the athleticism, the burst of speed. There's a lot of upside for this young man on both sides of the ball in his career.
Rockets get it to within 3, but look at LeBron playing defense at the finish to close it out. The massive block by LeBron James to preserve the win. Lakers hold on and win it. Little statement week we got working here for the Lakers. They take it 104-98. Back this up with the win they just had against Memphis. And let me get Brian Windhorst in on the conversation. Windman, what's the first thing to say about the Lakers off a nice win last night off the 2 seed in the West?
Those 2 victories over those 3 days really changed the Lakers' outlook in the standings, Greeny, because not only do they put 2 games in between them and being not having home court in the first round, they have the tiebreak over the 2 teams behind them, Memphis and Golden State. So, in fact, they've now got a 3-game lead. And the importance for that is the Lakers are 29-9 at home. They are 17-20 on the road. That is the largest home road differential in the league. And look, I'm never going to say that Luka and LeBron couldn't get a road playoff game, but if you want to make a run in the West, you've got to have home court. They're in great shape. They're also now just a game behind Denver. They've got the tiebreaker on Denver, and they've got 1 game left with Houston, and that'll be worth double because that'll be a tiebreak situation for that game, and that game is back in LA. They are in really good shape, and most importantly, they won this game with defense. They give up 125 points a game over the last 5, just 98 in this one. Get it done.
Absolutely. The defense has been the barometer, really, of this Luka-era Lakers. And, Jay Will, I know you have a couple of things you had your eye on last night.
Yeah, Greeny, this is a strategy I've had used against me. It'll be used against you as well because we are the mouses in this mousetrap. But this strategy by J.J. Redick is called Mouse in the House, okay? And they attacked Fred VanVleet 20 times in pick and roll. He is 6 feet tall. Luka with the size advantage, shot over him multiple times. Rui Hachimura, next block, down low in the post. Mouse in the house, shoot over the top. The next possession, literally in the game, AR-15 off a high pick and roll at the top, gets to a spot. So when you play against Houston, you're going to attack the mouse. And unfortunately, in this situation, the mouse in the house is Fred VanVleet.
No, that's a really well-made point. And Houston, look, people... Because they're so young and because they don't have someone named LeBron or Luka or Steph or something like that, I don't know how closely people have been following them this year. They're a legit 2 seed right now in the Western Conference. So it's an impressive win for the Lakers last night in what has been, you know, the disaster, the crazy loss at the end against Chicago notwithstanding, a pretty impressive stretch.
I think so, too, Greeny. Look, this Houston defense, they have versatile guys. I mean, Jabari Smith is back on the floor. And I don't know if you caught it at one point, Jay, but he's like guarding LeBron James coming across half court. And so they hang their hat on the defensive end. And for as good as the Lakers were yesterday in finishing this one, if not for 2 turnovers in the last 2 minutes, right? Your Houston Rockets are right there as far as contending. And, Jay, I'm glad you brought up that tape about VanVleet because he also shot 1 of 7 from 3, which is not really characteristic of who he is for this Rocket squad. So there's a little bit of give and take if he's shooting the ball a little bit better. But this is a really good win for the Lakers. Now, my question watching it is if this was a series, right, the level of energy exerted, I mean, LeBron continues to defy time, but what would that look like in terms of the youth of this Rockets team probably being able to bounce back a little bit quicker than maybe this Lakers team. But I thought the Lakers role players were tremendous in this one.
Youth versus experience. We'll talk a little more about LeBron doing what he's doing at his age a little later in this hour. But for the moment, Wendy, put a ribbon on the conversation here as far as this win for the Lakers against Houston last night.
Yeah, so I want to point out that Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith combined for 12 three-pointers in this game. The Houston's entire strategy was to camp down on the Lakers stars, and the role players delivered. Finney-Smith, that Finney-Smith trade was totally overshadowed by the Luka trade, which of course it was. Finney-Smith is great for them. He played huge swaths of this game at center last night, and it worked. I agree with Monica. I would love to see a series. And by the way, the 3 seed is there for the Lakers to get. This could be a second-round series, and it'll be fascinating because of the strategies these two teams used against each other last night.
And without meaning to disrespect any of the teams, OKC has been so good all along. Getting to 2 or 3 is so critical. You stay out of 4. Yeah, Jay.
I just have one thing. It was a great win by the Lakers last night. I know the last 2 games they've won well. But I'm with Monica. Like, this makes me more concerned about the Lakers, not with Houston, but with OKC. If it takes this amount of energy to exert to beat Houston defensively, and it was a great defensive performance, do we think they can prolong that effort or sustained effort throughout a series with OKC? No, I don't think so.
That's the point, which is why they got to get out of 4.
You're going to get it on both sides of the ball versus OKC. You could argue that the Rockets' offense, facts are, the Rockets' offense is not as potent as OKC's.
Yeah, which is why, to Wendy's point, you got to get out of 4. Yep. In a perfect world, you get yourself up to 3, and then you don't have to worry about OKC until the conference final. Okay. We'll have much more on LeBron a little later, but in the NFL, all of the NFC coaches are talking this morning, literally as we speak, at the owners' meetings, including the coach of the Giants. We know the Giants have huge decisions to make. Their quarterback depth chart now officially includes Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito. They also have the 3rd pick in the draft. Could that be Shedeur Sanders? That's the big question. Their coach, Brian Daboll, moments ago had this to say at the league meetings.
I think as many good players as we can add, we'll take. So right now we have the 3 guys in the quarterback room. We'll see what happens here over the next, call it month, if you will. And whoever's in that room, we'll do the best job we can of coaching them up.
We saw you dapping up Shedeur Sanders, and you obviously have a relationship there. What have you got to know about him so far as a person?
Yeah, again, I respect the question. Just relative to the guys in the draft and the draft picks and the evaluation process of these guys, I'll keep all that stuff in-house right now.
I love it when they say they respect the question. In the meantime,
but I'm not answering.
Joe Shane did answer the question. Okay, so this is the part that I think you think, Lewis, is the most interesting. Our Giants reporter Jordan Ronan tweeted a quote from the Giants GM, Joe Shane, saying, "We're in a position where we can take who we think is the best football player at that time," talking about the 3rd pick, saying they don't have to take a quarterback. If it matches up, if the value is right, we could take a quarterback. So as we bring Mel into the conversation, Lewis, I will start with you.
Yeah.
When you hear those words, what do they mean?
To me, it sounds like, look, they're not, if it's Shedeur or no one else, meaning, let's just put it this way, if Cam Ward's not there, they're